Hello everyone, this is Suyesh here. So we are here in the section of our larynx. Okay, in the larynx we are in the section of our third video, that is the part 3. So in the first video we have discussed the topography. In the second we have discussed about the cavity of larynx. In this video we are going to discuss about the cartilage of larynx. Okay, so we'll be seeing the classification of cartilage, number of cartilage, and we will be discussing in detail each cartilage. Okay, so first I will tell you the number of cartilage and what are the paired cartilage and what are the unpaired cartilage. So first of all, there are total 9 cartilage. I'm writing it here. Total 9 cartilage are present. Okay, in which there is classification, that is paired. First of all, we were discussing unpaired cartilage. Okay, in unpaired there are actually 3 cartilage. First one is your thyroid cartilage, and second one is your cricoid. Okay, and third one is your epiglottis. Okay, and the second is unpaired. Paired classification, paired cartilage. In paired, there comes 3 paired cartilage. First one is your arytenoid cartilage. Second comes your cuneiform, and third comes your corniculate. Okay, so these are actually paired. So total these are 6, and these are unpaired. Okay, so total these are 3. So total we have 9 cartilage. Okay, so there's a basic classification. So there's a basic classification of cartilage. Now we'll be moving on to the specific cartilage. First we'll be discussing about thyroid cartilage. So this is actually your thyroid cartilage. Okay, and this diagram you can see here. You can see this diagram. So this is the basic posterior view actually. So this is actually your posterior view here. Posterior view of larynx. Posteriorly we can see different cartilage here. Okay, so this is actually your epiglottis here. This is your epiglottis. So it's leaf shape actually. This is actually a leaf shape. This is your epiglottis. This single, unpaired. And this one you can see here. This one is your thyroid cartilage. And here this is your cricoid. This much area is your cricoid. And this one is your this horn-like here shape. And in between these two paired are arytenoid. And above these there are two small, and above arytenoid there are 2 small cartilages. Okay, so here you can see it is your corniculate. This one is your corniculate, and above that is your cuneiform. These 2 small ones you can see, this and this. This is your cuneiform. Okay, so these are not so prominent, and there is no so detail to study about these 2 cartilages, corniculate and cuneiform. Okay, so now let's discuss specifically. So this is our the posterior view, and you can see this is a green membrane posteriorly which is connecting your epiglottis and your hyoid bone. So this is a membrane, thyroid membrane. This green one is your thyroid membrane. These membranes we will be discussing in our separate video. In this video we are in the section only related to cartilage. Okay, so this is actually the diagram, posterior view. Okay, so we are now we will be discussing thyroid cartilage in detail. So you can see this is the lateral view. So this is actually your lateral view of thyroid cartilage, and this is the anterior side, and this was actually your posterior side. Okay, so first of all we will see the labeling. Okay, so thyroid cartilage is actually gives from anterior side, it gives protection, shield-like protection to larynx, and it is V-shaped actually. You can from the superior, when you will see this, you will see from the superior side the thyroid cartilage, you can see it is V-shaped actually. Okay, so it gives shield-like protection and is V-shaped. Now we have to see the labelings. Okay, so from lateral aspect you can see here. So there's an anterior view. Okay, in the anterior view you can see there is an anterior border here. Okay, this one is your anterior border. Okay, and these are your posterior borders. The lateral side you can see these, from the back side you can see there will be two borders of this. So this is your actually posterior border. So how these borders are formed, actually I'm telling it to you here. Okay, so there is two laminas here, two lamina and thyroid cartilage. So here it is. So you can see here there are two laminas from anterior side. These are quadrilateral shaped. So two laminas, quadrilateral shape. And actually these two laminas meet in the median line and forms the anterior border. And there is a notch where anterior borders does not meet. Okay, so this notch actually is forming, and this notch is called as thyroid notch. Thyroid notch. Okay, where your thyroid gland actually attaches. Okay, so this anterior border, this lamina makes an angle. So this angle is actually 90 degree. So this like this is your anterior border from anterior side, and it makes an angle. So angle will be 90 degree in males and 120 degree in females. Okay, so 90 degree in males. This is thyroid angle, actually thyroid angle, and 120 degree in females. Okay, so here only there is the prominence in the anterior border you see in Adam's apple in males. 90, because of this 90 degree, the less angle makes a prominence in males, actually more prominent in males. This laryngeal prominence we say, or we say it as Adam's apple. Okay, so laryngeal prominence or Adam's apple, this is more prominent in males, okay, as compared to females. So this is your Adam's apple. Okay, so this much is clear. So this was your anterior view, and lateral view you can see, and anterior also you can see this is your superior horn, superior cornua you can also say, cornua, and this is your inferior cornua. Okay, and there is an oblique line, and you can see laterally, you can see this is your oblique line, this oblique line, which is coming from, there is a tubercle here and here, your superior tubercle present in larynx, and this inferior tubercle here. These two tubercles makes a line called as oblique line, okay, in the lamina. So this is the two laminas, broad laminas, this is present anteriorly, okay, and this posterior borders here. So I'll be telling you some important points related to oblique line and posterior border, some features attached, some muscles attached here. So first I'll be discussing posterior border. In posterior border, three muscles actually attaches. Okay, so first muscle is actually your stylopharyngeus, and second is your salpingopharyngeus, and salpingo, stylo, and palatopharyngeus. Okay, so these muscles actually attaches like this here, like this in the posterior border, and these are coming and like this. Okay, so these are attaching in the posterior border here. Okay, so these three muscles are actually attaching on the posterior border of thyroid cartilage. Okay, so this much is clear. Now let's move on to the oblique line. What structures attaches to oblique line? Now what structures attaches to this oblique line? So here also three muscles attaches. The first one is your thyrohyoid. Okay, and next one is your sternohyoid. And third one is your thyropharyngeus, which is a part of your inferior constructor muscle, thyropharyngeus. You know that inferior constructor has actually two parts, cricopharyngeus and thyropharyngeus. So thyropharyngeus attaches on the oblique line. Okay, so I will be writing it here, the thyrohyoid. So it is originating from, just always remember one concept, the name which is first, it is the origin for that muscle, and the name which is second is the insertion. So here the hyoid bone, so thyroid, so here this muscle is actually originating, so it is the origin from the oblique line for this muscle. Sternothyroid. not hyoid, sternothyroid here. Okay, so it is also, it is now, it is the insertion here because it is originating from sternum. Okay, okay, so it is originating from sternum, so it is the origin here, and this is insertion, so this is the insertion, this is the origin. So this, for this muscle, this is the origin, this oblique line. Okay, so it is involved in the attachment of 3 muscles. Okay, so this much is clear. Here it will be attaching on this oblique line. Okay, like this, 3 muscles will be attaching. So this was important point. So there we have seen 2 attachments, first on the posterior border, second on the oblique line, and third one is on the posterior surface. Some structures also attaches on the posterior surface of this thyroid cartilage. So we'll be seeing the attachment on the posterior surface. So first one is actually your, you can see this epiglottis, this part, this is a stalk, that is a this is the apex. Okay, and there's a posterior surface of epiglottis we have seen. So this stalk actually attaches with the, on the posterior surface of thyroid cartilage with a ligament called as thyroepiglottic ligament. Okay, so this is the first attachment on the posterior surface, and second is your vocal ligament, and third one is your vestibular ligament. Vestibular ligament, this will be present here, vestibular will be present just above here like this, and vocal will be just below here. Okay, so these are also attachments here. You know that in the cavity we have discussed about vocal ligaments and vestibular ligaments. These are actually ligaments which further covers by the mucous membrane and forms the fold. So these ligaments are attached on the posterior surface of thyroid cartilage. So this was the thyroid cartilage, the basic overview. Okay, now let's move on to our cricoid cartilage. Okay, cricoid cartilage. Let's move on to the cricoid cartilage. So this is actually your cricoid cartilage. So some characteristic features for this cricoid: it is present at the level of your C6 vertebra, just above your trachea, or just the level ending, the ending level of your larynx, C6 level, and it is signet ring shape cartilage. Okay, and it covers the fully lumen of the larynx. It covers full lumen of larynx. Okay, and you can see this is a superior view. Now we're discussing the part for this. This is a superior view, and this is an anterior lateral view. So what happens in this is, it is like this. You can consider it like this, I'm saying. Okay, so from the anterior side, actually, from the anterior side, it has an arc, and its arc is not so broad, it is narrow from anterior. Like in the thyroid, there was posterior broad lamina, anterior broad lamina in the thyroid you have seen, but in this case the broad lamina is present on the posterior side here. Okay, so it forms a signet ring shape. From interior it has an arc like this. Okay, there's a lateral side, and posteriorly it has a broad lamina. Okay, so I'm writing it as here. Anteriorly arc is present, anterior arc. Posteriorly it has broad lamina. So here broad lamina. Okay, so this much is clear. So in superior view you can see this is the arc, and this is your lamina posteriorly, and this is the anteriorly side, this is the posterior side. And here again you can also see here, this is the arc, and this is the posterior side. Okay, posteriorly you can see this much area as well, and this is the ring, so gap between the arc and the lamina. So this is the broad part, you can see it here. Okay, now there are facets present on the superior surface for the attachment of arytenoid cartilage. Superior surface or upper border or lateral border, they are facet for attachment of arytenoid cartilage. I'm showing it to you here. Okay, you can see these parts, this superiorly. So what happens is, like this is your thyroid cartilage, cricoid cartilage. Above that is present your arytenoid cartilage. So arytenoid cartilage base is actually present over the upper border or superior surface of your cricoid cartilage on the lateral side. Like this, its base comes and attaches here. Okay, so there are facets for that. So this is the facet for arytenoid cartilage attachment. Okay, and there's some facet for thyroid also on the lateral side, lateral superior side, facet for thyroid cartilage also. So it has attachment with, this cricoid has attachment with On the anterior side, it has attachment with thyroid cartilage, and the posterior from the superior side, it has attachment with arytenoid cartilage. Okay, so this was actually your cricoid cartilage, the basic overview. Okay, and the structures. Now let's move on to arytenoid cartilage. Arytenoid. Okay, so you can see this is the medial side and this is the anterolateral side. It is actually present like this. I'm showing you the basic. This is present like this. You've seen it here. This is your arytenoid cartilage. Okay, and this was your cricoid cartilage. This is actually posterior surface. The lamina is broad on the posterior surface in the case of cricoid, I have told you, but this is your arytenoid cartilage. So on the medial side, this is the posterior surface. This is the medial surface. Okay. Okay. Now it has apex. This is your base. This is actually your base of arytenoid, and this one is your apex. Here also same apex. This is your base, and this is anterolateral view. Anterolateral view. Now let's come on to the specific characteristics. It has actually apex, base, 3 surfaces. In surfaces, it has posterior surface. I have shown you medial and anterolateral. Anterolateral, and on the base, it has 2 processes. On base, 2 process, muscular and vocal process. Okay, so I'm showing it to you here. The process, anterior process, that which is present anterior or forward, is actually your vocal process. And which is present backward or posterior or on the lateral side, it is your muscular process. So this is actually this process here, it is your vocal process, which comes anterior or forward. So this is your vocal process, and this is your muscular process. So vocal process is actually attachment for your vocal folds, and muscular process is attachment for your muscles. Okay, muscles. This much is clear. Okay, so this was actually like here, you can also see it here. So this is your vocal process, and this one is your muscular process here. Okay, so this much is clear. So this was your arytenoid cartilage. Now let's move on to other 3 cartilage. There's not so much information on them. Now the fourth one is your epiglottis. Epiglottis. Okay, so epiglottis is actually leaf-shaped cartilage. Okay, you can see it here. It is actually leaf shape. Here there's a posterior view. Okay, and on this base, it has anterior surface is free, that is superior or upper surface. This surface you can see it is free, but the lower surface is attached with the thyroid cartilage. Anterior surface is free, but it is present on the, that is the root of the tongue, and it has attachment with the tongue with folds. Attachment with tongues on the anterior surface. Attachment with tongue on anterior surface by glossoepiglottic fold. There are 2, lateral and median. 2 folds. It on the anterior surface, on the anterior or the anterior border, it attaches with the tongue and ends in the posterior surface of thyroid cartilage, attaches with thyroepiglottic ligament. I have told in the thyroid cartilage glottic ligament. Its function is actually closes the inlet of larynx when the person is swallowing the food. Its function is actually closing the inlet of larynx while a person is doing deglutition or swallowing the food. So it was a basic feature for this epiglottis, a leaf-shaped cartilage. Okay, this present on anterior surface. It has 2 surfaces, anterior, and this one is your anterior border. Okay, on anterior surface, it goes till the tongue, and on the base or inferior, there's a stalk part of epiglottis. It attaches with the thyroid cartilage with thyroepiglottic ligament. Now other are cuneiform. First one is corniculate. It is also called cartilage of Santorini. Okay, it is also paired, but it has articulation with the apex of arytenoid cartilage. Articulate with apex of arytenoid arytenoid cartilage. Okay, you can see it here. So this is a corniculate. It is just attaching with the apex. This is apex. I have told you on this specific diagram. This was the apex. So above this, your corniculate actually attaches like this. Okay, so it is actually conical shape. It has conical shape. Okay, so there's a basic feature for corniculate. Now comes your cuneiform. Cuneiform is called cartilage of Verisberg, and it is small rod shaped cartilage present above the cuneiform. It is paired. Okay, it doesn't have, these two cartilage doesn't have not so much function. Okay, so just present above the arytenoid cartilage. Above is corniculate and above that is your cuneiform. So this was the video on the cartilage of larynx, full video. Okay, I think it was clear. This is the notes. Okay, cricoid, arytenoid, we have discussed, epiglottis I have told you. Okay, thank you. Do subscribe the channel. Thank you.